Coyote Pass. There's Chris and Jason and Montana and Peyton and Schrader going up the hill up there. Looks like there's a 57 Chevy shoved off the mountain up there. This is Coyote Pass, looking down into Silver Peak, Nevada, the lithium mine. And this is Geological Survey. (7,353 feet above sea level). That's looking down into Silver Peak, down to the lithium mine down there. There they're walking down to the old wrecked car. There's Marilyn over there. We're at Coyote Pass, up the Silver Peak Road. This is kind of a steep and crooked switchback here, going down to the city of Silver Peak. Tall mountains in here. That mountain's probably around 12,000 feet tall. You can see the volcanic shale. There's a lithium mine down there. I imagine there's a lot of wind noise on this. Silver Peak, Nevada down there. Tonopah is over on to the north of there. There's a road that goes all the way to Highway 95 from here. That's looking back down into Fish Lake Valley. All right, this is Cave Springs. There's a bat cave there, and that cave springs right there. This is the Norton family, and all of you say your names.
Montana.
Jason.
Montana.
Christine.
Schrader.
Peyton.
All right. Now you're standing in front of a cave that has 6,000 years of occupation.
That's pretty amazing.
That's a long time. That's just about as long as human beings have been on the face of this earth. Now I'm going to go around here and take a picture of this cave. You want to follow me a little bit?
Sure.
And that is it. It's very deep. Now cowboys use this in modern times from the 1800s, and they would come in here when they were gathering cattle, and there all of you are.
I know, I do too. I like to think about history like that. I like to think.
This is the old gathering corral. Jim Daniels used to run this range many, many years ago. There's the old Cave Springs cabin. It used to have a jumping cactus growing growing right out of the roof of that place.
I love how they marked out. You are on federal public. That's right. No such thing as federal.
Yeah.
All right, different views of this cave. All right, are you ready to go look at petroglyphs?
Yes, we'd love to.
That go back probably 5,000, 6,000 years.
Yeah.
All right, and there's our automobiles and our little tiny convoy. Okay, you probably have to turn it on. This is Cave Springs Cabin. This is an old line shack. Jim Daniels, Louis Estevita, and all these old cowboys, Bill Wright and everyone in this valley here used to come up here, and this was all cattle range. And this is where the bighorn sheep are. The last time we were here, of course, there's a lot of people here this time. I think they've driven them back out of the mountains. But they were all over the hills. You couldn't look any place that you did not see a bighorn sheep. And Marilyn, smile and wave. There's Jason's new truck. And there they all are. And now let's get your names on here again.
Jason, Montana, Schrader,
Christine, Peyton.
All right, you're standing in front of the old line shack. I'll tell you a story about this. This used to be open. People would go in there, and a guy drove through here one time and went in that shack, and there's a hantavirus in this country. And he caught hantavirus. By the time he went to Silver Peak, which you saw where it is, just over the mountain, right. He was very ill. They took him via ambulance to Tonopah. They flew him by air ambulance to Reno, and he died en route. That's how deadly that stuff was.
And did he catch it in here?
He got it here is where he got it.
What's...
And the mice droppings.
Oh.
That was a long time ago. And not only that, but years ago, I have pictures of this place, the old rock corrals and dugouts here. But right on top of that roof was a jumping cactus growing out of it. I got pictures of that. It's not here now. I don't know what it says there. What does it say there on the sign?
It says it's private property, and if you want to camp here, they give you a number to call.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I wonder what that is way out there.
That is the spring.
Oh.
I wish the bighorn sheep, where they were just bouncing all over that mountain the last time we were here. Bouncing all over.
Before?
Yeah.
This is one of the first places I ever took Marilyn when we drove into Fish Lake Valley on our first date. This is where we went on our first date.
I love it.
Well, actually, we went to Pismo one time before that, but after we weren't even going together then.
Right.
Anyway, this is, do you see the petroglyphs?
I do. Yeah.
People have hauled so many of them off.
They have?
They've that whole side there was full of them.
Oh, no.
And they hauled so many off and busted them. Shot them all up.
Wow.
Now, this is an ancient hunting site. The Indians would drive bighorn sheep and antelope down through here. Now, those are hunting blinds. Those aren't fire pits, those are hunting blinds. And around those hunting blinds, you'll find that they were making their arrowheads.
Right.
All along there. On top of this mountain, when I was young, there were mannequins up there. Scarecrows type things. And the mannequins and the scarecrows, the animals would think that there were Indians up there, so they were watching up there, and they had clothes on them and stuff, and like tees, you know, with old.
They were really down here.
That they were really down here, hiding from them. All right. What do you think about this, Jason?
That's pretty cool.
Anyway, I'm one of the only people that know this.
Wow.
A lot of the people that live in this valley don't even know this place is here. They did that newspaper article on me. And so these are the hunting blinds.
I see them.
And look at the different ones. You'll see the circles.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one right here.
Yeah, all different kinds of things. See, I mean the circle up on there. See the petroglyphs?
Yeah, I see them.
Yeah, there's lots of petroglyphs. There's a lot less than they were 50 years ago.
Wow. And then there's hunting blinds.
As you can see, they busted them. They busted them, hauled them off. I wanted them to sign this place. See, there's petroglyphs that they shot them to pieces with rifles and stuff. Many, many of them have been taken. The hunting blinds are all down to here. And you can see there's arrow chips everywhere. There's all different kinds of chert and obsidian. And you'd have to be blind not to see it.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Oh.
There it is. Now this comes from hundreds of years ago. That's sacred ground, girl. To these Indian people. Now you'll see the hunting blinds were all here. When I was young, these hunting blinds were really deep. As you can see, they're all the way down to here. Up on those hills up there was where the mannequins were, the scarecrows.
Oh, that one, Montana, the one in the town. Oh, yeah. Arrowhead. It looks like an arrowhead.
Oh, there's arrowheads here. There are arrowheads here. Yeah, that is an arrowhead, isn't it?
Yes, small.
That's a bird point. Yeah. All kinds of arrowheads here.
That's a piece of a chipper one,
Yep.
maybe.
They've sat here and made their arrowheads while they're waiting for the sheep to come and the antelope.
Whoa, what's that looking?
What do you got? A horned toad?
Yeah.
It's a little horned toad. Yeah, that's a baby horned toad.
Take a picture of it? It's so cute.
Yeah, it's a baby horned toad.
Oh my word, he's cute.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
The first thing we did when Marilyn and I caught a horned toad for her and put it in her hand.
Wait. Right there.
Right where?
Right there. Oh, I see. See him? Mm-hmm. He's trying to be real still. Oh, there he goes. There he goes.
Yeah, they blend right in.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Those are sacred rocks to the Indians. Those are prayers.
Wow.
Prayers. Asking God to give them rain. And to give them more sheep and more antelope. That God will take care of them. And it shows the different kind of animals that they killed here.
Wow.
And they thank the Lord for every one of them and thank the animal for giving his life to them. Is that a herd of wild horses, Marilyn?
Huh?
Is that a herd of wild horses down there?
Well, I thought it was.
That's Trail Canyon up there. See, you always see Boundary and Montgomery Peak, no matter where you were today, you saw them.
Uh-huh, yeah.
And White Mountain. Did you see the scat from the wild horses down there marking their territory?
I did. Yeah.
That's how they mark their territory. Be careful, Marilyn, you don't have your cane. They've been all over here and this is a petrified swamp. Oh, hey, I found a petrified tree.
Yay!
I found a petrified tree. I found a lot of petrified trees. Are you ready? A revelation. Eureka!
Where's it at?
Heurisco!
That thing right there.
Heurisco!
Nope.
That's a petrified tree right there.
Right there.
Yeah, that's it. That's a petrified tree.
It's crumbling and falling apart.
Yeah, that's right. That is a petrified tree.
See how it all looks like wood?
Yep, that's it. That's wood. And let me show you from right here. That's petrified wood.
There too.
See the forest. See the forest. See the trees. Do you see the trees? Every place there that you see this red petrified wood was a tree.
Huh. So how'd they fall apart?
What?
Why'd they fall apart?
Rain, wind, weather, ice, frozen. See, there's one there, there's one there. There's one over there, there's one there, there's one there. Another.
Wow.
That's all petrified trees. And then the green you
See
see,
that brown the chunks right there? You might be able to see the green in them.
see right up there?
The bigger
Big
pieces.
ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, go down there and bring one of those bigger pieces up here, Cal.
Okay.
Please.
I thought that's what that was. You could tell that from when we were at the other one, home on Montana. What? That looks just like those other ones. Yeah.
That's a petrified forest. Now they're on the other side, I believe. Now see up there?
Yeah, it's on the top end of that band.
Top end. That's the petrified forest. You see every one of them up there?
Yep.
Every one of those is a tree. And a lot of this has been washed down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the petrified forest right there. I can't believe how much this has been washed. If you come up here, if you don't fall down and break your neck, you can see it. There's a petrified tree right there, right there. There's a lot of them up there, but this has been, the topography is so changed. This has just about been washed away. Look at all the trees. How many trees do you see? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I counted 10 right
7,
here.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. There's 23 trees. Now back up in here someplace, there is the largest petrified giant sequoia in existence in the world.
Really?
Yeah. You can't believe how this road has changed. There's some owl caves around the corner.
Whoa, this is like purple.
Yeah, it's all along here also. That's a real big piece of wood, isn't it? It's all petrified wood. From the weather, the rain and the ice and the snow, and freezing and expanding thousands and thousands of times, it's just broken them to pieces. Broken them to pieces.
That way, Montana?
I have never had a video of the petrified
How
forest
far back, do you know?
in Fish Lake Valley.
Wow.
Every place you see the brown, that's where trees were, and the green is a swamp. And up there, up that valley, you go up the valley and then you go come back on the top, and there are a lot of petrified trees on top of that. Looks like a lot of people have been here with quads. You have a quad, don't you? Side by sides?
Yeah,
Four-wheel drive?
yeah,
That's what comes back in here.
yeah.
Every one of those things where you see all of that, that's like agate or something. That was a petrified tree. There's a lot of them on top of that mountain right there. That green stuff is petrified vegetation. Christine, did we have an exciting day today?
Yes, we did. I
Oh.
loved it. It was
Oh.
wonderful. I could keep doing this, but I know I've worn my family out.
Well,
Look at this thin piece of rock or something I just found. But look how paper thin it is.
that's obsidian.
That's what I thought.
That's a piece of chert.
It was stuck in a rock, and then look at this one.
Oh,
Stuck
that's
inside.
that's not chert. That's petrified wood.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part of the petrified swamp.
That's neat. This is awesome.
There were clam shells, all kinds of stuff in here. Sharks, dinosaur bones, everything you can think of. Now, if I was as young as Montana, I'd been up that ravine there.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good
I
for.
think if it was earlier in the day, Montana would be too.
Yeah. He's pretty good about getting around.
Oh yeah.
That's all part of trees and things.
Yep.
Well, people have been all up here on motorcycles and quads and stuff.
Yeah.
They probably don't even know what they're seeing.
No, they don't even know what they're driving on.
This is the place. That's where the road used to go.
Yeah, it's.
But
Montana said it.
I'm going to tell you something. Before the flash floods, you see where those trees are up there?
Yeah.
That was all filled up.
Wow.
That was up. That was level.
Oh my word.
This was that was the ground. This is all, in the last 20 years, this is all washed.
Man.
This was hard ground.
Wow. Boy, things change, don't they?
Yeah, well, I'm glad I saw it. If we had a quad, we could come up here.
Oh yeah.
They're light.
Oh yeah.
That's the
well,
thing.
we've got a, it's a Polaris, and it's 4-wheel drive, and it seats.
Yeah.
It seats 2 or 3, and then you can get people in the back.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's the petrified forest. You go up to the right, and that's where they allocate for.
Look at this.
Yeah, that's layers.
But it looks and feels like glass.
Yeah. It probably is. It's probably volcanic. Probably melted. Got so hot, the glass melted.
Yeah. I've got thistles all in my boots and my breeches.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the stink bug. Oh, look at, he's mad at me.
Yeah.
He's got his butt up.
Yeah. Having fun. You think I picked a good place for the Western Nevada headquarters of DTW?
Oh yeah.
You come up here, get people to come up here and go on outings like this, and then teach.
Yep. Yeah, take them to the place and then.
Yeah. I ought to have the camera here and have my Bible. I just go ahead and just do a sermon up in a place like this,
Oh, I
see?
love it.
Up at the creek or something.
Oh yeah.
All of those are trees. Once upon a time, long time ago, probably pre-diluvian. This is probably before the flood and before the division of the earth. Well, Marilyn will get to see this. See, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees right there. And then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And boy, there was a bunch of them here too. There's the twins. I said, there are the twins.
Hold on, let me get a picture.
Schrader and Peyton.
Peyton and Schrader. You're kind of far away.
Coming down out of a ravine from the petrified forest. There was a petrified, there was a tree there also. That's the root system. More trees. Christine, if you come here, you can see the petrified roots where the roots were on that tree. Did you see that?
I don't know.
The roots.
Yes. I walked over there.
Yeah.
And
See the root coming out of the side of it?
Yes, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. That's part of the root
It's a
system.
big old solid piece too.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that solid piece of petrified wood over there. But see, you can see how the roots came down.
Mm-hmm.
And that white stuff is roots, a lot of it. And that there is like petrified moss and stuff. Well, we did find a petrified forest.
Yes.
That people said wasn't here anymore.
This big white stuff.
Oh, yeah. I imagine that's a moss. There's our resident lizard.
Oh, there's another one.
Go down at the bottom. Petrified swamp and forest. Look at that up there. See, that was vegetation, and down below is clay.
Wow.
Clay and sand. Look at how the rain has hit this.
Oh, yeah, it's just...
And then if it's got water in it, it freezes, then it breaks.
Yep. That's why there's all these little pieces everywhere. And the big pieces.
And there are a few larger pieces. Marilyn will get to see this on the video.
Yep. I'm bringing her back some petrified stuff.
See, there's a tree.
Yeah.
Unless you know what they are, you kind of miss the boat.
They say it's not here anymore because they don't know that that's it.
That's it. Look over there on the side of that hill.
Yep.
See there? There's one there. And there's a big one right there.
Yeah.
It's neat. You can see where the roots were.
Yeah.
Look at that. Well, that chicken will taste good.
It's going to taste real good. So will that salad and that bread with some butter?
You worked it all off today, didn't you?
Yep.
Oh, they're driving right over the top of the petrified stuff.
It's because they have no idea what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, I want to take a picture. I like this plant.
That thorn bush.
Yep.
Well, how are you going to get out of here?
I've already got it figured out.
You have.
Oh, yeah.
There's always, you have to have an escape route. Oh, you're going to back out and then go around. That's good.
Yeah, that turn right there made me nervous. I'm like, ah.
Oh, yes, absolutely. You can turn around up there if you could have got up there, but then going in quads.
I think I can get up there, but I might also get stuck right there.
Yeah. See, this is not hard.
No, this is all right. I'll back
I
up.
found you some treasures. So I got that for you. Oh, good.
Fish Lake.
Where?
Right there.
This?
This was Fish Lake.
Wow.
It was bottomless. It was filled in. M. Boyce, when he bought the lake, this lake, there were gigantic cottonwood trees here. He cut all the trees down, set them on fire. He fenced it off. He didn't want anybody swimming in his lake. And then he came out here with several truck and trailer loads of drilling mud and dumped down into the spring. In the bar down there, if you go down to the bar, right above the bar, you'll see a picture of me standing with a 6 1/4 pound bass that I caught out of this.
Wow.
This thing was full of fish. I put bullfrogs and crawdads in it. And the bass got real big.
Is this where the spring is?
Well, it was, but now the hole is all covered up, and he poured concrete on top of it. You can see the deeps down there. And over here, right here, when I was a young kid, this was an Indian graveyard, and they were scaffolds and rocks around it, and you can see what happened to that.
Bulldoze it.
Yep, they bulldozed it.
Why'd they do that?
Because it was sacred ground, archaeological thing. Anyway, this was where it was. That's where Fish Lake was. And it went all the way down. In the summertime, the farmers would use the creeks. And if you look here, you'll just see creeks all over the place. By the way, this is the Cord Ranch right up there. That was where Cord lived, right there. And I worked there and was a horseman on that ranch.
What's that creek coming through that hill there? I can see.
Okay, that's Leidy Creek.
And Chattovich is back there, right?
Well, Leidy Creek, and then you got Indian Creek, and then you got Chattovich Creek.
Now, where do they all dump into?
They used to come into this lake.
Yeah, but where do they go now?
You saw the water out there by the hot tub? It's running down there because there's so much in Chattovich Creek they couldn't use it all. But anyway, this was a deep lake at one time. There was a raft out here that kids would go out. They'd have picnics out here. And the lake, even in the wintertime, was 78 degrees. Because it was a hot well, and I mean that thing was a lot of water coming in here. Plus all of the other springs would come down at once. Anyway, this was it. This was a lake. And it was all fenced and double fenced, so people could not use his lake. And it had been here, and people had been using this for, well, the Indians had been using this. This valley is called the place of the watering hole. The bighorn sheep would come down out of here. The antelope, there were deer herds in here, bighorn sheep, antelope. There was a great big antelope herd out here. But when he did this and stopped it up, you would see the animals caught in these fences and died. And anyway, it was a horrible crime. About 1990 when he came into this valley.
And did that?
Yeah. 92 or 3, something like that. He bought 3 ranches with a lot of money. Came out of Florida. And he bought 3 ranches, $2 million apiece, and proceeded to destroy all of them.
And how long has he been dead?
Not long enough. They're trying to recover and restore what he tore up. Always the Fish Lake Valley Cemetery Road came through the Cord Ranch, but when he bought it, he cut everything off. You know, you've heard of little kids, mine. Well, that was the way it was, mine. My family goes back with his family until the 1870s, I think. His family are the ones that started the war, the Indian War with the Sioux Nation, the Santee Dakotas in Minnesota. And they ended up hanging 38 of those Indians over his family. One of his family raped an Indian girl, and they were going to make the boy marry the girl, and there became a big deal, and they shot the boy. And anyway, then they started an Indian War with that, and that's how President Abraham Lincoln signed the deal where they could hang 38 of those Indians. All over Jim Boyce's family. His family were notorious for problems in America. Anyway, there we go. And I'm going to get a picture of all of you sitting here. Now you saw Asa Wiles and what happened there, and you see the devastation of Fish Lake Valley and Fish Lake. Over one man